Welcome back. We hope you are navigating through all your tracking training. Today, we're just going to go over some additional steps of building the routine. It's very important that you do everything the same and build those associations with the dog so they can kind of get into knowing where you're going, what you're doing, and when it's time to start. So one excellent tip you can use at the beginning of each track is to set your backpack down when you arrive at the shot site, and that will become a target for your dog. You're going to set it in front of your dog, and your dog is going to go into a sit-stay at the backpack so you can go up and inspect the shot site. This will give, like I said, give your dog a target, and they'll start to recognize over time that they are supposed to sit and stay there until you come back and grab the backpack. For me, routine is very important. I've even gone as far as listening to the same music on the way to a track, just so my dog gets in that mindset of making those associations and knowing what we're going to do. They'll start to learn their job simply through repetition. When you arrive on site, before getting your dog out of the car, you want to get all your gear ready. Get your backpack loaded, your GPS is turned on, your leash ready for getting the dog out of the vehicle. When you go to get your dog out of the vehicle, you want to make sure that you have control. I put my dog in a wait while I get the leash hooked up until I can get him out safely and assure that I can get all his safety equipment on, his GPS collar, and make sure everything's working just in case of any unforeseen mishaps. So when we get our dog out at an unfamiliar location, their natural tendency is going to be to want to explore and familiarize themselves with all of their surroundings. I always inform the hunters that my dog is a working dog. Please don't pet him. I do this because I don't want my dog looking to someone else for praise while we're working. So here again, you're going to see that routine. You're going to get a quick glimpse of the backpack sitting right in front of him. Again, that's just a target, so he knows that's where his place is. As you can see, Franklin knows that the collar is nothing to worry about. He knows it's part of the game. So again, it's just another association that he makes with the job he's about to perform. The word you're going to hear a lot in this video is routine. We're trying to build a routine and control everything that we can control. I would suggest that when you're walking your dog out to a shot site that he is on the collar. That means that the dog is supposed to follow you. Once the dog goes onto the harness, it is now the dog's turn to lead. When you've arrived at your shot site, the dog goes into a sit-stay. Backpack is in front of them, where you're going to get their harness out. Switch over from the collar to the harness, which would indicate to the dog that work is about to begin. It's now their turn to lead. Another routine you're going to want to develop is handling with your off hand. So you're going to want to use your off hand, if you're right-handed, your left hand, if you're left-handed, your right hand, for your leash control. The reason I suggest this is you're going to want your dominant hand available for various tasks that may pop up while you're tracking. Maybe you need to put a light on, or maybe you need to change the batteries on your light, or maybe you need to grab your firearm to defend yourself or the dog, or maybe you need to pull out a knife. You know, there's 100 different tasks that you're going to want your dominant hand for. So here you're going to see, as we discussed in the previous videos about styles of tracking or scenting, Franklin's going to zigzag from side to side on the track. Essentially what he's doing is he is looking for his work. He's looking for a track to follow. So here we're just going to demonstrate and work on a recall. The first one is just going to be a basic voice command accompanied by our hand signal, and then we're just going to ask his attention and use the hand signal, and then I will demonstrate a recall using the collar with just beeping. Franklin, look here. Keeping my ear down, target's right at the hand. Good boy, good here. Always reiterating, with a good boy, yes. So for our next one, we're just gonna get his attention, call his name, have him look, give him the hand signals only, no other audio cues. Here we go. Franklin. Good, yes. That was no command whatsoever. That was just hand signals. The third and final method we're going to implement is just the collar beep for a recall. Simply, I'm going to beep his collar. He's going to immediately turn and come back. I think it's important to have multiple ways to be able to recall your dog, just in case, your GPS dies, or, you got a hoarse voice or whatever. He may not visually be able to see your hand signals. So it's important to develop all these forms of recall throughout your training. So throughout all your training, including just on these simple walks, it's important to pay attention to your dog, their demeanor, how they're moving, how their gait is, different various things that are going to help you develop your ability to read your dog as you get deeper into tracking. Some of the things you might want to look for is their tail position. Is it up? Is it down? Is it midway up? Is it wagging? Is it stiff? Is their gait fast? Is it big? Is it slow? Did they slow down? Are they picking their head up? Is their ears popping up? Just turning their head, or the little things. Every dog is going to have different tells, but it's important to be able to recognize them and get to know your dog as you navigate through this training and all of their tendencies. I think that about wraps up today's lesson, so hopefully this has been informative for you, and good luck in your training. We will be posting our week 2 video sometime next week.